All right, wanted to do a short training for you guys today on In the Zone with your boy Victor Bell. So if you haven't heard of me, if this is your first time checking me out, thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate it. So a little about me, I've been investing in real estate over 20 plus years since 1998. That's nuts. I haven't had all the information everybody else did, but I've done over $59 million worth of real estate. I'm the founder of Bell Capital, where we invest in multifamily real estate, and we allow the everyday investor like you guys to invest in institutional quality deals that normally reserved for the big guys, like right deals that the normal everyday entrepreneur, business owner, sales professional person, we don't even get those the phone calls. That's crazy. But I love those deals because I've learned something over time, and I want to share that with you guys today, which is the purpose of today's video. Number one, cash is trash. Cash is trash. Like, trust me on that. Here's why that's true. Because cash is going down. If you take a look at anything going on in the world right now, it's about inflation, whether the market's going to come back, the Fed's raise rates, are they going to cut rates in September? All of that stuff has everything to do with inflation, and they caused it. You can't even control it. All you can do is make enough money and not do what your mom and dad taught you to do, save money in the bank account or put money away from retirement, and then hope that that money's going to be there for you in the future. Cash is trash, my friends. I promise you. So, but I'm going to explain to you why. If the value of your money constantly goes down, right? Like, as a matter of fact, when we looked at it online, you can check it out. In 2020, the value of, you had $1 million. I'll do this. In 2020, if you had $1 million in an account, boom, boom. If you had $1 million cash today, just from 2020, I'm going to switch sides. You guys see that? Good. From 2020, your $1 million coming out will buy you about $750,000 worth of goods and assets, whatever it is that you want to buy with it, because that money has lost 25% of its borrowing power just since 2020. That's nuts. Since I've been alive, I was born in 1973. It's lost 85%, actually 86% of its buying power. That's 86%. That's nuts. And if this happened just in a couple of years because of the government printing a bunch of money right out of COVID, and then the Fed's not doing something about the rate because the money was daggone free, damn near, like, it deflates what your money can buy, which is what inflation is, the inflated cost of goods, so that your money can buy a lot less. Cash is trash. So what we were taught about putting money away, saving it, and hoping that we're going to buy something in the future is not the game. It's never been the game, but very few people know that. Our moms and dads and aunts and uncles and your grandpa and grandma, they didn't know that. They were just working their asses off trying to put money away, hoping it was going to be there for them. And look at your family. Did it work? Probably not. It worked, but it didn't work. They weren't wealthy. Like, not a lot of people. If they were, great, good for you, man. Mine weren't. So why cash is trash? The banks already know cash is trash, which is why they're like, okay, cool. Take all your money, give it over to us in a savings account, right? Or take all your money and put it over in a CD. Take all your money that you worked your ass for and put it in your checking account tied to a savings account. Or worst case, let's put it in a retirement account. Boom. All of these do what? All of these things benefit who? The bank. It benefits the bank. And what's the bank going to do with your money? It's going to lend it out 9 times. 9 times. That's what the bank does, because it already knows cash is trash unless it's used. So when you work your butt off, put it in an account, they pay you almost nothing for it. 0.00, maybe 2, 0.00, maybe 1. Worst case scenario. If you have to lock up a bunch of money, then yeah, they'll give you a little bit more money. But remember, that gain that you got on the interest is actually taxed to you at earned income, right? As ordinary income. So depending on how much money you make, 40% of whatever you earn is probably gone. So even if you got 2, it's almost like getting 0.25%. That's another video. But I wanted to share that with you because if the banks already know your cash is trash, we're going to lend your money out. We're going to lend your money out from a CD. That's why it's locked up. We're going to lend your money out from cash and savings and pay you nothing. We're going to lend your money out from retirement accounts. What does that mean for you? Stop doing this. Stop putting your money and saving your money in the banks. Especially if they're going to lend it out anyways, because who are they calling? Those banks are going to give it to Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. They're going to lend it to they're going to put it out in Wall Street, and they're going to actually lend money on the stuff we're looking at, which is multifamily real estate debt. So don't do that, man. Just be a part of the process. So this video really, and I know I'm pumped up. I'm always pumped up. Not all the time. This is Victor. This is video Victor. But if you meet me in person, I'm a little bit more smooth and stuff like that. But I'm always excited when I talk about money in real estate. That said, though, how do you make sense of investing money in a deal? I can only show you what I do when I'm thinking through a deal. So whenever you're looking at a piece of real estate and you're thinking about investing money in a deal, these are the three things that I'm looking at. Number one, right? Can it lose money? Can it lose my money? Can it lose my investors' money? Can it lose our hard-earned money that we worked our ass off for? We're putting it into a deal. And do I look at a deal and go, dude, how do I make sense of the deal? First, can it lose money? Do I love the deal? Do I love the location? Does it have the scale? Does it have the size? Is it in a great place where we know 100% a decade from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, this location is bulletproof? We've all played Monopoly. And we already know Boardwalk and Park Place, no matter what you do, is the place to own, because at some point you're going to land there and bust out. If you're just playing the game and you're just trying to collect your $200 and keep from going to jail, which is what most people do, they'll buy all their little shit. The people who bust their butt and take everything, they borrow, they buy, they do everything, and they're able to buy Boardwalk and Park Place, eventually know they're going to win. All right, so that's the same thing when you're thinking through a deal. How do you make sense of a deal? Is this Boardwalk and Park Place? Is this Main and Main? Am I ever going to lose money putting my money in this location, in this deal, in this property? That's number one. Number two, whoa, you can tell I'm fired up today, and I got to stop because you're going to be like, I don't like that guy. He's too big. But cash flow. It's got a cash flow. Also money. Will it cash flow? Can I get paid to wait? See, most people out there, they want a lot of cash flow. They're oh, I got to get a lot. The banks aren't getting a lot when they lend your money out. When you invest money like an institution, like an insurance company, those guys are getting like 3-4% on their money a year. They're fine because they know that, hey, we're taking big positions. That's what I'm looking to do with you guys. I'm looking for you guys to invest with us at Bell Capital or on your own, whatever. But get a little bit of cash flow so it continues to pump money to you every month, every month, every month. You just don't worry about it. And then you go off and you go make more money and you go invest money in those assets. And before you know it, your cash flow is bigger than the money that you had to work your ass off for. Your money that you invested is working harder than you work for it and is sending you a drip every month. All right. So this is how I think through a deal. One, can I lose money in this location or this property? Number two, does it pay us? Because if it pays us, pays the bills, pays our investors, we're good. All right. Next, number three, right? Possible ability appreciation. Appreciation. Does it have the possibility of appreciation? How do things appreciate in the commercial real estate space, in the multi-family real estate? We're only talking multifamily. We're not talking single family, nothing like that. I only talk about multifamily investments. So how does it appreciate? Rents go up. This is how we know a property is going to continue to appreciate, because multifamily properties are valued based on its income. If the income goes up, the appreciation of that, the value of the property goes up. So if you buy a great location, you know you're not going to lose money there. And it has cash flow when it's going in, meaning that it makes money going in. We buy it in January, we get a check in February, right? Or we buy it in August, we get a check in September. Or we buy it in September, we get a check in October. Whatever that is, that's cash flow. Pays the bills, pays us. Next, we know we got possible appreciation because we know that location, that there's jobs coming in the market. It's a great city. People want to be there, like San Diego. People fly all over the world to come to San Diego. This is one of the best cities on the planet. I used to do deals in Miami. I'm going to do deals in Miami. I used to do deals in Hawaii. And I bring Miami up because I believe San Diego is the next Miami over the next decade. It has to be. It's already happening. You guys just can't see it. I moved here. I already know that's happening. But I bring that up to say because rents are going to skyrocket in San Diego. Why? The weather's great. There's jobs here. The average income of the person that is moving here is making over $150,000 to $200,000 a year because they're in life sciences, they're in tech, they're in venture capital. That's big going on in La Jolla area, Mira Mesa, all that other stuff. All of these things are happening, but if you ain't playing that game, you don't know, which is why I bring that up. It has to be an area in a city, in a location where jobs are coming. That dictates whether rents continue to go up. And if rents go up, money goes up. What do we say? Because the whole time you've been having your money sitting in a bank, that money's been going down. Your money's been going down. But if it's in an asset that's going up in income, instead of just sitting in the bank going down, there's no loss, right? Super important for me to share that with you guys. So that's why and how I make sense of any deal. One, can it lose my money? Can it lose my investors' money? I don't want my family's money to be lost. I don't want it sitting in the bank. So I built a whole organization around helping other people, everyday investors like you guys, get invested in deals that we're looking at, right? You got to be accredited right now. You got to be a good person. You got to love real estate. You got to have a great attitude. We don't want people with bad attitudes, or if you're a person who gets in a lot of accidents and shit's always happening to you, we don't want you in our deals because we don't want that happening to us. But I share that to say, when you think through just those three things, it makes things a lot easier. Look, I'm going to show you a deal we're working on. Can't tell you the address because I'm under CDA and I know people watch what I do. For example, this deal. You guys see that deal? Let me get a little closer. Come on, man. Right there, that deal. That's 400 units. That deal, that deal will not lose money. Here's why. And here's how I make sense of a deal. So that deal, number one, the scale. That's 400 units. 400 units. I want to say that's about 16 acres. A little less. A little less. Number one, the scale of the deal is big enough. It's a huge deal. The location is big enough. It cannot be destroyed. It can't be disrupted, like Warren Buffett says. Invest money in things that can't easily be destroyed or disrupted. Technology, easily destroyed or disrupted. Think about it. This phone gets upgraded. I can wake up tomorrow morning and that phone will have a systems update. And if I don't update it, my phone's not going to act right. It is constantly being updated, meaning it's constantly being disrupted. One thing, the way that it is, if you take a look at what Wall Street, every day I look at CNBC. Every morning I wake up, I look at it, and it's like, this thing's up. This is red. This is green. NVIDIA is coming out with their new pricing. Last week, it was the Fed's coming out with their job growth and their economic plan. They're going to cut rates in September. They're not going to cut rates in September. There's going to be 5 cuts before January. There's going to be 1 cut before January. There's going to be none. Like, that's too much shit going on. This will not affect this property. Now, rates will affect the property, but once somebody buys it, you lock in a rate long-term, you're not worrying about what's going to happen because the scale of this property, 400 units, 16 acres, is not going to be taken and destroyed. Period, hands down, no matter what. Hurricane ain't going to do it. Earthquake ain't going to do it. It's not going to destroy the whole thing. A fire ain't going to do it. It may burn 1 building, maybe 2, but it ain't going to burn all of them. You saw that thing was massive. So that's the first thing I'm looking at. Next, I'm looking at amenities. I'm not going to write that out. I'm looking at amenities. Everything around this property makes sense. The properties around itself are 1.2 million or more. The shopping centers and the entertainment alone in this immediate area are worth multi-million-dollar shopping centers right in the immediate vicinity, less than 1 to 2 miles away. It is crazy. This is a triple A property at a triple A location, right? That said, and then also the demographics, the demos. Is how I'm making sense of it, right? We talked about that. So the amenities, you got $1.2 million homes in the immediate area. You have multi-million-dollar shopping centers, grocery centers, entertainment in this area, jobs, and all that other stuff. The demographics of everybody here is about 120,000 plus, all the way up to 200,000 or more in this area. So people who can afford rent in that area are going to rent in a place like this, right? And we're not talking about the amenities of the property. We're talking about the things around it, the parks, the city stuff, the walking, the hiking trails, the money that's in the area. There's money around this property, a lot of money around this property, and it ain't going anywhere. So, and then next, this property is below replacement costs. It would cost $600,000 to $700,000 a door to just build it. First, it would take you 2 to 3 years to build it. Right? At least 3 years to build it. One, it'll take you a year for permits and process. One, you can't even get the permits for that property anymore. If you look at the way that it's built, they won't even let you do it. It's probably on the upwards of $700,000 plus to build that thing again. And they won't let you build 400 units. They'll force you to build probably more because there's a deficit of homes in that area. So they need housing. They won't let you do 2-3 story walk-ups like that in a garden style across that location. They're going to force you to do some wrap. They're going to force you to go up probably 5 or 6 stories, and they're going to make you put in below ground parking. It just changes. And it'll take you 2 to 3 years to do it, and you get no cash flow while we wait. None whatsoever on that deal. So that's another time when I'm thinking through stuff. So there's immediate cash flow. I think that deal will probably trade right now in this market, probably about 440,000 a door. 400 to 500,000 a door is where it's probably going to trade. That's 200,000 less. 200,000 less. So you're walking into that deal with about $80 million worth of equity just on looking at the deal by itself. Tell me that's not how you make money in this business. So, and what else do we look at? We got demographics. We got below replacement cost. Oh, we already talked about it. It's already cash flowing. This place is 97% occupied. And I personally believe right away, there's already $200 in rent, just in increases that we can do right off the bat. Because I already underwrote the deal. I know it's $200 below. That's in year 1 and 2. I think we get that between year 1 and year 2, start bumping that out. So I'm already thinking ahead. Look, if we did that deal, hypothetically, I'm just going to share this with you just so you can tell how I do stuff. You're going to see me do this over and over again. So at $200 a unit, 400 times, that's $200 a door increase, not based on what it's already cash flowing right now at 97%. I'm just thinking increase. That's $200 times 400. That's 80,000 a month in additional times 12 months. That's 960,000. That's almost $1 million in increased income on that deal. Divided by, on that deal, let's just do a 5% return, 5% cap rate. So we would right off the bat make $19 million just by executing the first plan. $19 million on that deal. $19 million increase in year 1 and 2. That's increase in value. And we'd almost get a $960,000 increase in income. That's just income. This one's value. So that's not doing anything. That's just going in and just saying, raise the rents. Hey guys, this is happening, right? That's not hard. I can do this over time in a year. That's $50 a quarter. No one's going to move out every time the quarter happens. And because that's how rents happen in there, but the deal's big enough. There's scale there. So when I'm thinking through a deal, like I said, these check all my boxes. And when you're looking at your own deal and you're trying to make sense of making a money investment into a deal, what happens? Does it have enough units? Is it big enough? Is the location sick? Are there amenities around this property? Not including what's there. There's 2 swimming pools on this thing. There's a business center, a fitness center. All of the things that go along with, there's a park, there's dog parks, walking stuff. Everything is at this property, but the amenities around the property too. There's $1.2 million homes selling. Not so, they're already selling. This is already happening. People want to live in this location, and there's billions of dollars worth of development happening around it, as well as hundreds of $millions worth of other amenities just between shopping and everything else, city parks, everything going on. The demographics around there, people can afford it. There's 120,000 to 200,000 plus a year income, and this thing is going to be bought below replacement cost. $700,000, I believe, and I know that. Why I believe, which is why I said you got to know, because I already looked at 2 more assets around there that are brand new that just came to market that cost $700,000 to $800,000 to build in the same vicinity that just got finished building in 23, and another one got built in 24, and they are coming to market. 1 we made a run at, 2 we haven't made a run at yet because it's still in play. So that's how I get this number. So I already know this. This is why I said you got to know this stuff. But that's how I make sense of a deal. Whoa, this deal may be a steal because it's still 2,000 built, so it's not that far off. And then last but not least, 97% occupied already, man. It's already making money. It's already full. I know we get this deal at the right purchase price, entry point. It'd be a great deal for somebody. And I'm using this as an example. And then next, I already know, which checks the other box. Is there future appreciation in this thing? There's a $200 rent bump here. In the first 1 or 2 years, we already know we're going to increase the income by itself, just income to if we were to do a deal like that, right? Just say we all came together, we did that deal. We'd increase the income, our income, cash flow, by $1 million that year, split up between everybody. And then we'd also increase the value of that property by damn near $20 million in year 1 and 2 just by owning it. while our money sits and doesn't do what I said initially. It's not sitting in the bank. It's not in a savings account, a CD, a checking account, or a saving, or a retirement account. It's actually in a real deal, growing as we sit and we wait because we collect cash flow. So if you're thinking about how do you make sense of a deal? How do you make sense of making an investment in a deal? This is how I do that. Like I said, guys, cash is trash unless it's utilized. If it's just sitting in the bank, even the bank knows. They're like, hey, as soon as we get this money, we're going to dump it. Think about that. Every time you make a deposit, they press a button, turn it into digits, and it goes poof out into the universe, and it gets distributed, and it gets lent out 9 times while you sit and wait. That's why they don't want you to come get your money back, because they got to give a return to this other person. That's why they charge you a fee, because they got to pay that fee that they promised somebody else to recover. They're like, hey, look, we're going to give you X amount of interest on the money, and then we're going to pay you back. You get it out early, they're like, shit, we got to do this. We're going to charge you for it. We're going to give them their fee, and then we're going to take ours over the top. Look, play the money game to win if you're going to invest your money in real estate, multifamily real estate, real assets, just like what I'm telling you. But that's how you're going to make sense of a deal. I know this is a lot. Don't get confused. Either watch it again, or if you're like, dude, that's a lot to think through. I just want to focus on my business and making money, and I'd rather invest money with you guys. Good. That's why we're here. Go to bell-capital.com, and then you can only do 2 things on our page. You can click get started. You can see what's there. You can take a look at the paperwork, or you can schedule a call with myself or somebody on the team and get your questions answered by a real person. Man, I hate calling and having to deal with a chat bot, or wait online for somebody to call me, or do that stupid email that says, oh, somebody's going to get back to you within 24 hours. If you're thinking about investing money and you have a question, you should be able to talk to a real human being. That's what we built out with Bell Capital. So I'm here for you. Go to bell-capital.com. Check us out. We'd love to have you. Or like and share this video. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. I really, really want to do that. We're trying to build out what we're doing, and I want to have more subscribers because I want to talk to you guys. I do. We do a live, and I also do a video like this where I get to just jam through it and just enjoy it, so you can go back and listen to with the information that we talk about. I'm here for you. We're going to do this every week. And if you guys need anything, make sure to hit us up. And remember, cash flow is the name of your game, and you need to play it ruthlessly and invest in real estate with us. All right. So have a great day today. Let's connect soon.